Coat off, her jacket off. Now she finna do some things. You better do.
You motherfuckers got me fucked up. All you motherfuckers got me fucked up. I ain't never been scared a day in my motherfucking life, bitch. I was born with a 9. I don't play that shit. All my people is military, bitch. We do this shit. You think I give a fuck about any motherfucker's opinion? Not you, not your bitch, not your mama, not your daddy, not your forefathers, not none of you motherfuckers can put no fear in my motherfucking heart. I live this shit, you sons of bitches, you bloody motherfuckers, you rapists and pedophiles and boy lovers and ass fuckers. All you sons of bitches wanna got a problem with me because what? Because I'm not some what? Sit back and be a good black girl, motherfucker? No, I'm not gonna be your good black girl, bitch. I'm not gonna be your good black girl. I'm the motherfucker that's coming for you and all you dirty motherfuckers and all the descendants of you dirty motherfuckers. I don't give a fuck about none of you sons of bitches. Report all you motherfucking want to. Death threat me all you motherfucking want to. Come to my motherfucking door or any of my people door. We ready for you Klansmen motherfuckers. You motherfuckers ain't royal. You motherfuckers are confused as fuck. It's a shame what you're doing to our black people by putting us out there like we a bunch of confused ass banshees, like a motherfucking dumbass fucks. You motherfuckers ain't royal. You bitch motherfuckers is confused as fuck.
The shooters are out.
Black power, black power, black motherfucking power is our Empress Sekhmet the General, and I wanted to say the state of the conscious community. Well, there's a lot of things that you can say about that, but what I'm going to touch on right now is the fact that you can call yourself a part of a community, but when you say community or a part of something, that means action. That means action. So I notice a lot of people that say that they're a part of the conscious community, but they're not doing anything in the community. They're not doing anything to build the community. They're not doing anything to uphold the community, enlighten the community, or encourage the community. So I'm indifferent, like Sankofa said, I'm indifferent to people that say that they're a part of something and they're not doing anything to elevate it. They're not participating in anything. They're not being, they won't even subscribe. So when I think of a conscious community, that word community gives me a little befuddled because I don't believe that enough of us are doing something in the streets to call it a community. Now, as far as the word conscious, no doubt, not even in their own homes. Not even in their own homes, because your own home is where the community starts. Right? Inside the walls of your own private home is where your community should start, and then you should fester that out. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not putting anything in action in your own home, then how can it be in action on the street? So I'm very indifferent to that word. Now let's go back to the conscious. When you say being conscious, I think it has been watered down because there's a lot of people that have just bastardized the word. And I think that we learned how to do that from racist white supremacy. We've learned how to bastardize something. We learned how to water something down. We learned how to intersectionalize and integrate, which means water it down. Which means water it down. So I think that word, when people are referring to being woke or conscious, has been watered down. I am a part of the conscious community. Why can I say I'm a part of the conscious community? Because I'm out here. You know what I mean? You put in work out here, then you can put it in. It's like false flagging to me when you say I'm a part of the conscious community and you're not putting in work. That's false flagging to me. That's liable to get all. You know what I mean? You get handled for those kind of things. You get handled for walking around with a blue flag on the left and you ain't never put no work in. You get handled for that. You get handled for hollering Sue Woo and you ain't put no work in for that. You get handled for that. So I think that we need to incorporate some code of conduct. So if you're going to call yourself a part of the conscious community, then you need to show your receipts. And if you don't show your receipts, then you need to get handled. I'm tired of motherfuckers walking around here false flagging, saying that you with something, but you're not doing anything to be a part of something. You got to put in work. You got to put in time. You got to do something. You got to put some type of streets in your community, even on your own block. Even if it's just something on your own block, even if it's just running and telling somebody, everyone else has this cosmology. Everybody else has this working for them. Jehovah's Witnesses, where they at? They on the street. They at your door. They pop out on you. They pop out on your ass. Won't they? They'll jump out on the car on your ass. Pressure. Pressure. That's pressure. You feel what I'm saying? That's pressure. We're not putting any pressure out there. You know the black churches out there giving out free fish sandwiches and shit? You know what I mean? We're not putting no pressure. We're not flooding the streets with the information to have people want to join.
Coming off that high, it's a double sack wrapped around some funk in the trunk. I got the Mossberg pumping, got the jack of pump. And when that sickness hits, I'm like a new stage. Watch my back hit the dank look, the
Black
dance make
power.
the brain clump.
Black
Now
power.
my niggas on the
Black
show, Mr.
motherfucking
Baby
power.
Reg, Brother Lynch, Big
Black
Dan,
no
we
ass.
got to roll right and deep.
Coming to you live and direct to give you a message for all you awakened black. And all you sleeping in is open season on the crack. We've had enough, but we won't take this shit anymore. Time and time again, throughout the years and the decades, they have been killing us, they've been slaughtering us, they've been taking our children, they've been putting our men in prison, they've been attacking our women through their wombs, and enough is enough. Our time is now. They fuck with the last nigga that they need to fuck with. It's over and it's done. It's open season on the motherfucking crack. Period. I don't give a fuck about your cracker friends. I don't give a fuck about your Arab friends, your Chinese friends, all the motherfuckers you went to school with, all the motherfuckers that you think they're really not that bad. Fuck them too. Enough is enough with this pussy putting around with the motherfucking cage. They've been coming for our throats. They've been coming for our lives. They're killing our women, saying that they committed suicide. They're killing our unarmed men for no reason at all, for petty crime, or nothing at all, for traffic stops. Your tail light out and you get killed. That's because there's a green light on you when you're melanated. There's a green light on your life because you're black. How long are we going to live in these motherfucking American KKK allowing them to do whatever they want to with us without any repercussions and without any accountability? That's bullshit. Are we going to be a race of sheep? Are we going to be a race of warriors? Know where you came from, my people. We didn't come from a people that stayed lying down. We didn't come from a people that allowed them to kill, rape, maim us, brainwash us. We didn't come from that. That's not the culture that we're cut from. We're cut from the cloth of warriors. We're cut from the cloth of God and God. Rise up, you mighty people, and understand and realize who you are. It's enough is enough. Let me motherfucking practice with us. I'm tired of looking at the news and seeing another black man down or another black woman down. How long are we gonna do this shit? We gonna keep on standing around out of these buying red Gucci belts and McDonald's chicken nuggets while they out here killing us? That's what you wanna do with your life? That's not what I'm gonna do with mine. That's not what we're gonna do with ours. We're gonna fight back. So right now we declare open season on a motherfucking crack. All you motherfucking crackers y'all need to watch your motherfucking head. You need to protect your motherfucking self because we coming for you. We coming for all you motherfuckers in order to see you motherfuckers. Oh, they easy to get. Well, I ain't never owned a slave. I ain't never raped nobody. But you're living on the stolen inheritance. You're living on the blood, sweat, and tears of black. And we're not going to pay them anymore. We want our restitution.
Everyone blood for blood. It's open season on a motherfucking platinum, bitch. Let's get it.
Yup. I want to know which. Yo, how y'all running away? Yeah, we want
Racial dating, we want to talk about getting money, we want to talk about...
Come on, come back.
Talk about getting money.
Yeah, you talk about that too.
Money, let money be the topic.
Okay. Money, but then you open up. You said let money be the topic. We from the same city. What's your interpretation of what get money is?
Get it by any means necessary.
Get it by any means.
Get it by any means necessary. Whatever, like whatever brings the money, you get it by any means.
Hold on, man. Let me ask you, how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're 21. How old are you?
22.
22.
Money, right? Y'all say get money? You right? You saying get money? That's your objection? Cash rules everything?
Cash roll everything around me, cream.
So are y'all prostitutes?
Hell no. No.
You're not prostitutes. All right, so
We dancers.
you dancers? Like exotic dancers? Okay.
This one?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you're exotic dancers. What made you make that professional choice?
Whole lot of money. Whole lot of money.
Where y'all dancing?
Whole lot of money.
Oh, wait.
I like dancing. It's like a party every night.
And then you get money. All right, how do your family feel about you being exotic dancer?
I don't care. They support me.
They support you? That's what's up. Do y'all ladies have children?
Yep.
You have babies?
I got 2.
How old are they?
You asking too much now.
I mean, I don't want to know their names or nothing. Just how old are
That you asking too much.
All right, no problem. Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
Would it bother you if your daughter grew up and became a dancer like you are?
She not gonna have to.
She's not gonna have to, because you're gonna get enough money to where she doesn't. What's your idea of wealth? How much money would be enough?
A whole lot, nigga. A whole lot.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, sisters.
6 figures.
You think you're gonna get 6 figures from dancing?
I know I am. Not even just dancing, but I know I'm gonna get 6 figures. My kid's gonna be good.
All right. So is dancing a pedestal or a bolster to another type of profession that you want? Like, is this something just to get the money to be in another profession?
Mm-hmm. The grind don't never stop.
Okay.
Any means necessary.
Well, I appreciate you both.
How did you begin to do
So, I guess they want to know, is there other ways that you ladies see that you can make money without dancing or stripping?
Every way.
I don't want to say stripping if you're not stripping, because you said dancing. But is that, are you stripping?
Dancing.
You dancing and not stripping?
No.
Okay, my bad. There's a difference. I didn't know there was a difference. Okay, so when you're dancing, you're fully clothed?
Yes. Stripper, you taking off clothes. Bras.
You got one bra?
Yes, and panties.
And panties?
Strippers is ass naked.
Okay, you don't do that.
No.
Okay, so do they put money in your drawers?
No, they make it rain on me.
They make it rain on you with money. Okay, and have you ever thought about any other way to make money?
Of course.
What was that?
Different shit, like, I don't know.
You don't know?
A lot of ways. A lot of ways. The most money, so I'm gonna do this.
Okay. How long do you sisters think are you gonna keep doing this? Are you gonna dance till you're 50?
Fuck no.
How long are you gonna dance for?
Another year. Yeah, another year. Definitely.
You know, I've met strippers that have said that in they 45.
Yeah, that's serious. I know what you mean, but this
Have y'all thought about higher education, college, or anything like that?
I already went.
You already went to college?
Yep.
Have you graduated from college?
Yep.
And you still decided to become a dancer?
That's just something I decided to do.
Cause you dig it?
Yeah. I'm finished school. It's fun. Everybody should do it.
Okay, can I ask you a few questions? How you
I want to say something to you, my sister. From sister to sister, I want to say to you, if you...
I choose to do that.
No doubt. And I believe you. And I'm saying to you, from sister to sister, if you ever ready for something different, if you ever ready to learn something different and to feel something different culturally about yourself, to learn about powerful black women and to learn about powerful black men, I would name you one.
Maya Angelou. Mr. Parks. Yeah, I know about him.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, sis. You on the right path. Maya Angelou wrote a poem called "Phenomenal Woman." That's an excellent poem, and I ask you to read it every day when you wake up before you go to dance, read that and know that you are phenomenal. Know that you're greater than your circumstance. Okay, sis? All right? No doubt. Void of unity because we're void of culture and heritage. I'll say that again. We are void of unity because we're void of culture and heritage. It's time for us to get our birthright back. And when we begin to pass on a birthright, then we begin to have value in our culture. So when you talk about this conscious community, I think you need to understand that you need to have, it's a culture. It's a way of life, practiced. Okay? I'm going back to math for all the gods and earths. Culture is a way of life practiced. You have to put it in practice. You can't just say that you're a part of something and you don't put it in practice and you don't put it in action. You see what I'm saying? If you're not surrounding yourself by positive images of black people, then how can you begin to positively move along change with young black people? You know what I'm saying? You running around with a Marilyn Monroe t-shirt on and you calling yourself conscious. You're not promoting positive black imagery. Period. End of the story. If you would rather look more like a European than more like a black African living in the wilderness of North America, then you are not culturally sound to be calling yourself conscious. And that's it and that's all. I know a lot of people may not like that, but that's what it is. Culture is a way of life practice. You got to put it in practice for it to be culture.
We are greater. We are stronger. We are the people. The children of the tongue. Black power. Black power. To all the fallen soldiers. Black power. To all the fallen soldiers. Come on, people, you got back. To all the fallen soldiers. To all the ancestors. To every last drop of black blood that has been shed with no accountability, with no justice, with no equality, with no reason, with paid vacation leave. I've been working all my life. I've never had a paid vacation leave. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! All right, y'all can take your seat. Y'all can take your seat.
We have across this country begin to move. I'm not really big on the political thing, but this is what I say. We're not repatriating back to Africa no time soon. Right? This is our home, right? These immigrants, when they come in, they get out of line and kick their asses out, right? They keep us in a certain place because we was the economy here, right? So they can't kick us out. So watch this. If we ever got strong economically, what would happen to all these other ethnic groups? They would fall, right? So they're invested in keeping you economically dumb. And because you're economically dumb, you have no culture. So they're going to always take the side of white supremacy because their life is predicated on you being in a southern place.
Let me build on that. There's two things I want to say. First off, you damn right. That whole going back to Africa movement is dead. It's dead. Why? I can't even get brothers to leave a block. That's real talk. We can't even get them to leave a block. So thinking about us going back to Africa and cultivating land, that's not happening. Okay? We need to understand that we can build a nation within a nation the same way other races have. Hasidic Jews have their own community. You can't walk around out there. Okay? There's communities out here that are Chinatown. You know what I mean? So we need to understand that we can do the same thing. Take back our towns. Take back our blocks. Take back that. But that takes mobilization. One of the things that I can take away from the civil rights movement is mobilizing. Mobilization. But that means move, motherfucker. You got to get up to get down. You can't just sit at home talking about what we not doing, talking about what money we making or what moves we not making, and you not ready to move. You got to mobilize. You got to be able to put in some kind of action. So there's absolutely no way we can talk about going back to Africa. Do I think everybody needs to go at least once? Yes. It smells different. It feels different. You don't even know what it feels like. Everything in your body feels different when you step off the plane in Africa. It feels like home. Everywhere I walk out here, I know I'm, what they say, I'm Millie Rock on any block, but it don't feel like home. You know what I mean? I still know in the back of my mind that I was stolen and I was placed here. I was put here and I was forced to be here. And I'm walking on bloody ground. And I understand that, and I can feel that with every step I take. So I know that everyone needs to go to Africa at least once, so you can feel what it feels like to be home. But now, right now, in the wilderness of North America, we need to mobilize. And to mobilize, that means you got to move. You got to get your ass up. You got to find somebody else that is about what you're about. You got to find somebody else that's willing to sacrifice what you're willing to sacrifice. You can't be around a bunch of bum niggas trying to spend money, because everybody going to have their hand out. Surround yourself with the people got the same amount of money as you, that's trying to get more. You understand? They say at work, don't dress for the job you got. You dress for the job you want to have. You understand? So we need to walk around. We need to walk around with the energy that I know I'm free. No, I'm not free, but I know that I will be free. If I got enough brothers around me that's ready to work, that's ready to mobilize, that's ready to sacrifice, comfortability has to be lost for us to begin to think about black liberation.
Sit next to family. Black power. Black power. I don't believe you today. I want you to understand that we are at war. Your children are at war. Your family, your husband, your wife, your sister, your brother, your nephews, they are annihilating your race. Your race. I know you might have came here to find something else, but when you came here to see me today, you're going to get this work. There's no time to be lazy today. Stand up. Put your hand in the air. This might be the only chance that some of you lukewarm niggas get to say it. So you might as well go ahead and get it out. You know you can't do it at work. You can't do it on the bus. You can't do it nowhere. So you might as well get it out now. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. When we say black power, we are in direct opposition to white supremacy. Direct opposition. That means we are not the same. We are not equal. Who saw that guy commercial and Pinocchio come out? You got potential. You got potential. It's not true. We are not the same. They are not equal to us. We are greater. We are stronger. We are the people, the children of the sun. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. To all the fallen soldiers. Black power. To all the fallen soldiers. Come on, people, you got black. To all the fallen soldiers. To all the ancestors. To every last drop of black blood that has been shed with no accountability, with no justice, with no equality, with no reason, with paid vacation leave. I've been working all my life. I've never had a paid vacation leave. Black power? Black power? Black power? Black power? All right, y'all can take your seats. Y'all can take your seats. It's so good to see y'all in here today. Once again, I'll tell you that we had a reunion. Right? You sit next to family. You sit next to kinfolk. Okay? You don't have to act bougie in here today. You don't have to act stank. Okay? We don't want to do that. We want to show love to each other. We want to think in a communal way of thinking. We want to remove this individualistic way of thinking. We want to go back to being obligated to one another. Nobody likes obligation anymore. We need to be obligated to one another. If we want to begin to be self-sufficient off this cracker titty, pardon me, then we need to begin to rely on each other and feel obligation to help one another. That's the only way we're going to be self-sufficient. Because if you thought that there was any other way to win outside of being separate from them, you're sorely mistaken. If you think that one day you might be good enough, but one day if I keep on working real hard and I keep doing the right thing, I might be good enough. And they won't see me as just a black girl or just a black man. Right? I work hard. I work harder than everybody else. I tell on niggas when they pilfering. You know what pilfer means, right? When you steal at work, they call it pilfering, because crackers do it, so they give a pretty word for crackers. It's just shoplifting when we do it. I call it reparations. I call it reparations. So what I'm trying to tell you today is, everybody's talking about unity, right? In the lieu of all the murders and all the slaughters, but please don't get desensitized. Do not get desensitized by them showing you what they're allowing you to see. We do not control the media. So keep in mind, everything that you see, they're allowing you to see. They're allowing you to see that. Didn't nobody walk through the system and take over the station to show you some real shit? They're allowing you to see that. They want you to see it for a reason. They want you to think that riling up and destroying property, they want to give us that idea. They want us to do those things. And the only thing we're going to end up doing is fucking up where we live, shitting where we eat. That's all it does. We have been marching for so very long. And I don't want to take away no respect from our ancestors that came out with marching, right? And came out with rallies. Because we know that the marching, as a community organizer myself, the marching is not about the march, it's about the symbolization. It's about someone being able to see our side, right? Not allowing someone else to dictate our story. Not allowing someone else to be the scribe to our story. But when it comes down to marching, and you got agents in the crowd.
Uh-oh.
I heard what I said.
We see you.
When you come down to marching, and there's agents in the crowd, you know what I'm talking about? Them lukewarm niggas. Them sweetheart gangsters. Them real nice warrior niggas. Them niggas. Right? Why can't we just all just be peaceful? Why can't we all just seek justice in a nice, passive way? Because it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. If you look at the things that work for our people, it all came out of tears and blood. There's never been a time that we talked ourselves into shit. We had to fight for it. We had to lose lives. We had to become uncomfortable. When we make a choice to start boycotting and stop spending our money with them all together, to see that we take obligation to one another. Because if we try to boycott the bus system now, half of you niggas won't give each other a ride to the store. Let alone group up together and say, we're not going to get on this bus. We're going to make sure that our people on our block get to their jobs. That's too much. Right? I'm asking for too much. Nigga ain't going to ask me for my motherfucking ride. Shit, me. I got gas to put in shit. There wasn't even no gas in the put nigga asking me for a ride. Don't be quiet now. Y'all know y'all one of them. I've done it. Sat in my house where a nigga knocking on my door. Don't go to the door. Let them keep on knocking. They want something. No obligation to one another. Okay? And the only way that we're going to affect white supremacy is to hit them financially. We don't have enough guns. We don't have enough ammo. Our kids know how to do the nay-nay. Our kids don't know how to make a double tap in somebody's skull. Our kids know how to watch a whip. And what's all that bullshit? They can do that. They can do that. But while our kids is out here hitting the phone, guess where their kids is at? Double tapping in the fucking skull, right between the eyes. 6 years old. Go on YouTube. Don't believe me? They taking trips together, family weekends together. When they're hunting, they got a tree house inside a tree. They sit in that bitch for 3 days silent. 6 years old. Some of y'all can't get your kids to sit down for 5 minutes. And guess what they out there? They aiming at a sight of a nigga with a watermelon. The Chris Note's gonna tell you all the good shit. That's where we at. We don't have the time to read the whole fucking book no more. It's time to get the Cliff Notes. And the Cliff Notes are separate survival. How do you expect to survive if you're living beyond the enemy lines? Let's be real of it. We were kidnapped. Right? That's what it was. It's all other kind of words that they give me, but the real reason is we were motherfucking kidnapped. And now we're still in the land that our descendants will be after us. In a kidnapped land. What does that mean? That means we are beyond enemy lines. That's where we're living. We're living in a war zone. We're not supposed to be here doing the shit that we're doing. The cracker looks like you, looks at us, looks at you, looks at you, looks at you. You know how they look at us? They look at us like pets that started walking. Who in here got a pet? Got a dog at home? Got a cat at home? Got a bird at home? Right? What would happen if your dog walked up in your motherfucking house on two legs and told you, hey, I want rice? You shoot that motherfucker. You shoot it. You mean I've been feeding you? You want rice? I've been feeding you and housing you and having you in my house. You're laughing, but that's how they see us. They look at us like, how the audacity of you, nigga. How dare you ask for some shit that I got? How dare you? They look at you like, who taught you how to talk? Those are the first things they took from us, our language, our unity. You have to see that everything they do is a reversal, right? That's how we have to decode this shit. So if they say one thing is bad, you should automatically know it's good. Okay? That's how we got to see the shit. They tell you snakes is bad and snakes not bad. You're dreaming about snakes, you're probably going through a transition. Okay? Everything that they tell us, you flip the script on that shit. Everything. They say 666 is bad. We all know that ain't the truth. That's not the truth. Right? But we've been living with that lie for so long. We've been living with that lie for so long. We've been letting black people, our own people, come in and out of our community selling us pipe dream after pipe dream. But can any one of you go to your church today without filling out form after form to help you pay your rent? I dare you to try to walk up to a black church and tell them, look, I need help. Can you help me pay my rent? They're going to be like, oh, do you go here? Are you a member? They say I got 2 minutes. I want to end with this. Fear has everything to do with proximity. I'm going to say that again. Fear has everything to do with proximity. Right? So if I'm afraid of a dog and I don't see no dogs all day, I'm really not walking around in no fear. If I'm afraid of heights and I don't go up high, then I'm operating without that fear, right? The only time that it gets afraid is when I hear a dog. It's like, oh shit. The only time you start going up high, then you start getting more and more anxiety. Right? The closer you are to your fear, the greater the fear is. So for us to begin to heal our minds, we have to become separate. We have to give more and more space between us and them for us to begin to heal. Because as long as we keep the fear in the proximity, we will always be a product of that fear. So it's time to wake up. It's time to realize solutions. And our solution here, you're looking at us and we call ourselves the divergent. We are not the same. We are not afraid to say it. And the first thing to do to help us on our way, when everybody's talking about solutions, separate from them is the solution.
Really, the black man's husband is a white man. He provides food, shelter, and clothing for her. He provides jobs for her sons when he got a felony and can't get a job. He can't come to us. So before we begin to blame our women, we got to understand warfare and how we're being attacked. Stop blaming the women. That's feminine. That's a feminine trait.
Talk to the sisters. I want to talk to the sisters. I'm going to say something to the sisters, and this might be cold-blooded. It might be. But sisters, you are not a man. You are not a man. Understand that the chips have been systematically stacked up against our men. And we have good men out here now that are ready to take their rightful place. But they cannot take a place if you're in the way. Understand that you're a woman. Understand that you do have a rightful place. And let your man take the lead. We understand that generationally, women have been put head of household for all different types of things. But it's been a European system that has made us believe that we don't need a man. That we can think like a man. That we can act like a man. And one of the things one of my master teachers, my father told me, he said, if you want to talk and act like a man, you better have hands like a man. Okay? You want a man to choke you while you're having sex, but if he choke you in an argument, then you call it 911. It's confusing. I told you it might be cold-blooded, but I'm going to keep it a buck.
She said it.
I said it.
We said we wrong. She said it.
I said it. Let's get it together, sisters. We have to understand that you need to embrace your femininity. Understand there is a rightful place for a woman. There is a rightful place. And we need to allow our men to be men again. Every black man out here is not a deadbeat. Every black man out here is not a deadbeat. We need to stop talking about our brothers like that. Our mouths destroy our brothers. The things that we say to our brothers when we get mad are like venom. We hurt our men more than anything else can hurt our men. We hurt our men more than anything else on the planet can hurt our men. Just a simple word. You a pussy. You ain't got no job. Fuck you. You ain't shit. Do you know what that does to the psyche of a black man? We need to understand, we need to change our conversation. We need to change how we talk to our men. We need to change what we do with our men. We need to change how we treat our men. And we need to know our rightful place as a woman. You are not a man. Walking around here thinking that you don't need a man and you can go on independent. There's nothing wrong with being independent on the side of your man. Peace, Black Power family. Like he said, 1 year ago to the date, September 24th, 2015, I was awakened to 30, and I say 30, riot gear, full automatic weapons, kicked in my door, dragged me out the bed, and told me that I was under arrest. They left me there butt naked and refused to cover me for 20 minutes. As I screamed, cover me up, cover me up. But I don't want to talk about the negative things of that because that's what they want me to talk about. I'm going to talk about the positive thing in that. And what happened then is they gave me a national platform. And when they gave me a national platform, that's when I realized you picked the wrong nigga. You picked the wrong nigga. You should have got somebody else. You should have picked somebody else. You should have did this to someone else. The violation goes beyond words, how I could describe, and the things that I had to endure since being released from jail for speaking out against the injustices that are being committed against our people. I stand here now and I say that I'm so very grateful for that situation. It's taught me how to change the things that I say and make it in a way that I can't be hooked. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to react in a way that they want us to react so they can put us in change. That's what they're looking for. So out of this situation, if anybody asks me, what have I learned? I've learned how to speak in a way that you can still understand where I'm coming from, still feel my passion, but it doesn't make it so offensive that I have to be arrested for it. Because we live here in America. And you can go to jail for offending someone. It's not against the law to offend someone, but they will arrest you as long as if you're not playing the spoons. When you put your spoons down and you don't want to play the spoons no more, then you become a problem. Then you become a problem. And what I'm saying now is I decided that I'm going to have to be a problem. It's just going to have to be a problem. So I appreciate this day. It's a full 360. I appreciate everyone that stayed in my corner, and I haven't forgotten about you motherfuckers that wasn't. So I appreciate y'all.
Let me ask you a question.
Black Power. I am Sekhmet the General. Okay? This is not entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is not entertainment. This is not funny. And this cracker bitch is waving. I already cursed her out one time.
Look, they got the Christmas tree.
This is not entertainment.
The weed tree.
Come on, folks.
Let me ask you a question. What is so funny about that? What's so funny?
I'm taking over.
Yeah, to you, what is so funny?
Funny about that. Show that. Show the sign. We can't see the sign.
She's sick, so what's so funny about it?
Come on back to her.
You think she's sick?
Hold on 1 second.
She is?
No.
I mean, I just want you to tell me what's funny about this.
There's nothing funny about it.
There's nothing funny about it?
Why?
Hold on, wait a minute. Go ahead.
What's she doing?
No, I'm.
What?
I don't know what you want me to say.
It's not about what I want you to say. I'm just asking. I saw you laughing at this black woman
I'm enjoying her because I'm in the presence of her.
enjoying the nigger clause.
No, I'm enjoying her.
Everybody is enjoying the nigger clause. Look, America is enjoying.
How do you not? She's my friend. That's why I'm enjoying this. She doesn't give a shit. A lot of people would be embarrassed to do all of this, and she is not, and that's why I admire her.
And what's the little black doll here with the afro? What's that about?
She gave it to me.
Okay, so with race relations the way it is right now in this country, you think that this is funny?
Alright. I think it's time for us to mosey on out.
Yeah, I think it's time for y'all to mosey the on out too. Me too. Me too. This is what you call coon. This is coon. This is coon 101. This is coon and cracker one. Back the up. This is coon and cracker 101. And the reason why we allow this kind of behavior is because we lost. We lost. We lost. This is what you call coon and cracker. And this is the things that we need to get out of our community. These are the things that we need to get out of our minds. These are the things that racist white supremacy want us to act like. This is what we want. That's what they want. They want us to act like this. And as long as we shucking and driving and playing the spoons for these racist white supremacists, then we okay and we're accepted. That is unacceptable. It's not entertainment. It's not funny. And to allow this white girl to think that she can walk around saying the word nigga, that's never going to happen. Oh, Maya's right. Look at God. Look at God. Oh, Maya's right. Nobody's tolerating that kind of ridiculous anymore. We don't have the energy for it. And this is what we need for us to see as a people. The clowning.
Consider herself a different kind of woman.
She didn't even consider herself. So she's trying to make her and her cracker friend out here trying to make fun of the black plight. And then we need to recognize the world that we in right now. It's going to be real shit going down. They're going to have to do something. Lull themselves to sleep anymore. They're not going to be able to sit in their comfortable homes and feel like they're safe anymore. If black people to do something. I really am. So if we're over again, it's a reason why they're putting it in the media. There's a reason why they got it on replay. There's a reason why. Now, whether you want to figure out that reason, that's on you. But we need to decide that we're going to stop showing these imagery so we can get it in our minds that it's wrong. As long as we keep watching it, it's going to be easier to watch, which makes it easier to take, which makes it easier to stomach, which makes it easier to be a next hashtag.
You just scroll by it next time.
You just scroll by. In the community in real time for over a decade. So I let just to name a few things, which I've gotten flack for recently. Actually, I had a couple of brothers come at me for the works that I have done that may or may not involve white folks, crackers, or whatever.
I heard you could go to kinds of relationships. Okay, so if you consider yourself an awakened black, right, and you consider yourself in a relationship with an awakened black, then we should be operating on two different levels when we talk about relationship. It should be a different level of respect. It should be a different level of care. It should be a different level of understanding. Now, if you're still asleep and you're still trying to use someone to correct the flaws within yourself without correcting your own flaws, then that's always going to be a chaotic situation. But if we're talking about awakened blacks, and if I assume that if you consider yourself awake, then you've done some self-evaluation, you've done some self-healing, you've done some self-correcting. And once you've done that, then I think it's possible for you to move into a productive monogamous or polygamous relationship. But until we heal ourselves and stop hypersexualizing Okay? Our people are very hypersexual and we use sex to hide characters and our flaws in our character. So I think that relationships, first and foremost, we need to begin to deal with healing ourselves, healing our hearts, healing our minds, speaking of the things that have hurt us. We've been hurt. I believe the black race is a race of special needs. Every one of us has some kind of special needs. We've been through something because you have to, nobody gave us a book to this thing. We were in chains, we were out of chains, we were made to do things that have now been incorporated in our genome. And for us not to believe that, it's just incorrect. So I think if we want to talk about relationships in the black family, we have to talk about individualistically healing the black man and the black woman so they can come together and make a whole. But if us still trying to make two people that are half and trying to incorporate them in whole, we're going to continue to have chaotic relationships.
Talk to us about polygyny. Now,
on the black man and call him a deadbeat or call him a no good man, but we never question the choices of the woman. We never question that. We never question, well, why do you keep picking the deadbeat dude? Instead of trying to heal our black men to bring ourselves, instead of turning them into something else, we have that control. And if you're a black woman and you don't understand the power you're walking in, if you don't know you can turn a nigga into a god, we can do that. If we invest in our men and in our babies, we are the safety net of our race. So I think that there's been a lot of finger pointing to our men, not evaluating that the chips are stacked up against our men. We get more opportunities as black women in this country than they will give our men for a reason. Because they want us to keep on going with this women head of household thing, to emasculate our men, to make our men feel low. The lower they feel, the easier it is for them to get hooked on this dope. The easier it is for them to get hooked on someone outside of their race. The easier it is for them to get hooked on doing all of these things that are very superficial and not wanting to pay attention to what you need to put into the black family. And I think our black women need to understand that the chips are stacked against our men. So it's not that it's just a whole bunch of deadbeat black men out there. We need to stop doing that to our brothers. The system is a deadbeat system. And it's got our men by the horns. And it's us. Yes, we have generationally had to be heads of household. Yes. And I'm not taking nothing away from those strong women and those strong grandmothers and mothers that have raised their children. But we do need to understand that the chips are stacked up against our men.
All right, so now take it to the polygyny.
I believe step outside of yourself and do something. That's the only kind of advice that I can give our people now, is do something. Everybody's not going to be a frontline warrior. Everybody's not going to be able to take a police charge and go to jail. Everybody's not going to be able to do that. But there is something that you can do to be proactive in the movement to the freedom of your people. Find your niche. Find how you can help. Everybody's not going to be able to do what we do. Everybody's not going to be able to have an oppositional personality. Okay? But try to figure out what you can do so we can begin to be self-sufficient, count on each other, police ourselves, grow our own food, teach ourselves. We have to start taking time out to invest in each other so we can live.
And love ourselves.
Because I'll do it on the street. Don't make me act up out here. Don't make me act up right now. I think that the energy of what I want to bring forth, no matter what it is, once again, I Empress Sekhmet, and the energy that I want to bring forth to this time and this place on August 13th at the Alhambra Ballroom at the HOK reunion is a truce time. It's time for us to understand that we may believe in different things and we may have different ideologies, but we do have the same enemy, regardless of what we call ourselves. And this is the time for us to come together and understand that we have to begin to pool our resources together so we can become free. And that's not just physically free. We're talking about mentally free, emotionally free, spiritually free. Black folks are a resilient people, but we also are people of special needs. We fucked up. You feel me? We ready to snap. We ready to snap at any time. We ready to go off. We're not willing to give each other the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, we're giving every other race the benefit of the doubt. We're giving every other race a pass. But we don't want to give our brother and our sister a pass if we may not subscribe to the same ideology. Those times are dead. In 2018, it's time to get a team, and our team is the family. And the family is, if you black in the wilderness of North America, if you're a displaced African, knowing that you're a descendant from kidnapped Africans, then it's time for us to band together and realize that we have to come together for us to be able to fight. We don't have enough guns to defeat them alone. We don't have enough resources to defeat them alone. We're going to them for our natural resources, our food, our clothing, our shelter, our water. But still, we call them our mortal enemy because they are. So those are the things that I want to say for this day. It's time for us to begin to get our own natural resources so we can be off of this crack of motherfucking bastard's titty. It's time for us to understand that it's time for us to grow our own food, make our own clothes, business with each other, educate our own children, police our own selves. It's time for us to realize that we have a way of life. We have a name. We have a culture. And even though it has been stolen from us, we can find it now. We've been educated. Our eyes have been opened. There's places like Baba TV, Every Time Fire, Sinetta TV, the HOK, and so many other platforms that I could name that bring right information to us that have wakened up so many blacks. So this is the time for us to come together.
Let me ask you a question. So those are the things that I believe that men need to just bring back to the forefront, taking their dominant place. Our women don't know how to be submissive women anymore. The game is twisted. See, we watching these movies like 50 Shades of Grey that make you think submission has to deal with you being tied up and beat up in something sexual, and it's not. It's not. Being a submissive black woman is the strongest thing that I've ever done in my life. Being able to give the reins back to a black man and let him say, I follow your lead. Even if you make a mistake, daddy. But I'm giving you that respect. There's power in that. And I think that a lot of our women have been caught up in this think like a man phase, this black feminism. I call it the think like a man phase, where I don't need a man, I'm independent, and I don't need all those things. That's not us. And that's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie for you to project your own self-loathing onto a black man that really only needs someone to heal him. That's all. So I think that it works if you have two like-minded people. A polygamous relationship comes out of a productive monogamous relationship. If you don't have a productive monogamous relationship, you cannot begin to think about having a polygamous relationship. You must, and I repeat, you must have a productive monogamous relationship where that woman and that man decide, let's incorporate someone else, nothing to do with sex. It has absolutely nothing to do with sex. It has absolutely nothing to do with homosexual sex. We're not talking about menages. We're not talking about threesomes and all that other nonsense that's going on today. That's not what polygamy is about. It's not what it's about. It's about bringing together people that are like-minded and respected, taking down the risk of STDs. Most black women in America, Sinetta, have been in a polygamous relationship, whether they know it or not.
That's facts. That's real.
Whether they know it or not. So to keep on acting as if it's not a good idea, but you've been doing it. Most of us have done it. Some of us have done it all our lives. You know, some of us are willingly doing it. Like, I'd just rather be the side chick. It's easier for me. That's a polygamous relationship. The only thing different is we're not respecting one another in it.
I think that the black man is really getting a bad rap. I think that there's a lot of black men that are stepping up. There's a lot of black men that are coming forth and saying, look, I know my right women choices. So I think that the black man is really getting a bad rap. I think that there's a lot of black men that are stepping up. There's a lot of black men that are coming forth and saying, look, I know my rightful position. I understand that the chips are stacked against me and I've been put in a position that has not looked very good. But there's too many black men out here right now that are willing to take that step. But we as women have been generationally heads of household for so long, we don't know how to let the black man take his place. We've got this think like a man
syndrome going on. We got this I don't need a man, this independence. And I'm not saying not to be independent, but to think that that would remove the black man from the equation is the same thing the cracker did to us, isn't it? So I understand that there's a lot of black men out here, but we have to give them the opportunity to step up. It's a lot of black women that haven't given the black man the opportunity to become a better man. And I think that that's what needs to happen. Okay, well, young.
To me, is the only solution for us to get up out of the situation we're in, where a mass number of people throw something in the pot.
That's right.
And then you pick people to manage that pot. So how do we get around that fit? Is it our generation, or do we have to plant seeds with the younger generation for them to do it?
Well, we should constantly be planting seeds, but there should never be a time that we're not planting seeds.
Right.
There should never be a time that we're not disseminating information.
Right.
That's how we kept our culture before, by telling stories, you know, by sitting around each other and telling stories of our grandparents and telling stories of our ancestors. We didn't have, you know what I mean? That's what we used to do. We get away from that now.
Right.
But I believe I'm going to teach it the same way my father taught me. When I was afraid of something, my father would do it in front of me to show me it didn't hurt.
Right.
So when I was getting taught how to swim, my father just didn't throw me in the water and said swim. My father got in the water and said, see? Just didn't throw me in the water and said swim. My father got in the water and said, see? I'm not hurt. I'm still alive.
Right.
I'm right here. And it made me more comfortable to try.
That reminds me of my daughter. She was
hacked into a conference call and threatened her repeatedly.
Hearing me respond to being called all kinds of stereotypical names that black people have been called across the board.
Right back. You motherfuckers want to research, but you motherfuckers don't want to fight. You want to go back and forth with who's a Moor, who's a Hebrew, but when it come down to getting at this beast, everybody got their hands up and don't have nothing to say. Fuck out of here with that shit. If they coming for you, take the motherfuckers out. Take as many as the motherfucking cocksucking Peckerwood. We on a war. Take the motherfuckers out. Take as many as the motherfucking cocksucking Peckerwood. We on a war path. We're on a fucking war path. All that sissy shit, all that weak shit, we not with it. You ready to fight? You ready to get up some arms? You ready to train? Are you ready to kill? What's it gonna take? What is it gonna take for you niggas to put down your motherfucking Molly and your motherfucking Ciroc and arm up and gun up and start killing these cracks? See, this is the fuck shit I be talking about. A motherfucker commenting that patience is a virtue and silence is golden. Fuck you, nigga. You sound like a bitch. Fuck all that bullshit. Get a gun and start shooting. Niggas need to wake your ass up. Wake up, niggas. It's time to get up. It's time to rise up. Get your ass up. It's time to wake up. It's time to rise up.
Please believe I'm a queen without a doubt, but I don't mean of New York or the South. See
About all that information.
Yeah.
And you get debriefed.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
That's a fact.
They removing that. They're siphoning out all of that so you can go back to
Psychologically.
real life.
Yes.
Huh? You follow me?
Yes.
We have to do the same thing when we're dealing with these.
Yeah.
We got to do the same thing. So when we get around one another, it's time to debrief.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's time to siphon out. Cipher don't get gas. It's time for us to cipher out all the nonsense and refill each other. The reason why the masculine and feminine black energy can't get to a place where connecting is because we filled up with a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
How can I pour into you if you already filled up?
You already filled up. Yeah, you gotta empty your cup. It's so true.
How can I pour into you? A lot of women, I keep going from one bad relationship to the next bad relationship. Well, have you ever detoxed your womb from the last bad relationship?
Talk about shout out to Queen Afua and the Sacred Woman course.
Sure.
She has a great course for that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I put free game out on my Instagram all day long.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it, but hashtag free games. I put up herbs, how you can make your own vaginal steam baths at home.
Yeah.
A lot of women don't got $300 for that.
Yeah.
So my whole page is full of free game. If you follow me on Instagram, Empress Sekhmet on Instagram.
And I put out all the herbs you can get from home. I even teach you how to make your own steam, your vaginal steam chair yourself.
Yeah.
From like thrift store shit.
Yeah.
But once you understand that energies are deposited into one another.
Yeah.
Our spirituality, right?
Yeah.
Our spirits have a different kind of rules than our physical.
Right. Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
They have a different kind of rules. So we need to understand that spiritually sex is marriage.
Right. Yeah.
Sex is marriage.
Absolutely.
And you can see that the law is indicative to the truth.
Yeah.
Why? Keep that in mind. I know a lot of people not, but listen. Legally, it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Why?
Yeah.
Because if you get married to someone and you do the vows,
yes,
and you don't consummate the
marriage,
then you can get what is called an annulment.
That's right.
Because you haven't had sex yet.
That's right.
It's not real.
That's right. It's not real yet.
Until you have sex.
Yeah.
Then you go into divorce.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because even they know we believe in our spirits. They know us.
Yeah.
Our spirits know that that's marriage when you have sex with someone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're connecting. You're taking in what's inside of them. They're taking in what's inside of you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So imagine, no disrespect, but imagine you've had sex with 30 men.
Uh-huh.
It's 30 niggas energy in you.
That's right. You've been right. Soul ties, all of that. It's there.
So their depression, their anxiety,
The bags.
hella bad.
Luggage.
So now you go to another man, right? And you're trying to get into a relationship and you're really into him, but you don't understand it's all this, because he's not dealing with just you. He's dealing with you and 30 other niggas shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with men. Men think, oh, I'm just going in and out. No.
No.
There's something being deposited within you.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
The most powerful that we are is at that moment.
Yeah.
If at that moment, when we are connected in that way, if we both decide to say, we will be millionaires.
Yeah. You're manifesting that.
Well, that's the most powerful time that we ever have. When those two energies connect. Right? So if we continue to let people deposit in us without removing them, there's no space for anyone to put anything else in you.
Yeah.
Imagine the chaotic swirl. Just imagine it. Close your eyes and imagine all 30 different energies swirling around in you. So we're talking about abuse that was never talked about, molestation that was never talked about, insecurities that was never talked about. All of these things spiraling. You don't understand why sometimes you can be watching World of Dance and start crying.
Yeah.
You don't understand how
it's a lot.
You know what I mean?
It's a lot.
It's like, all this because it's everything going on with you.
Yeah.
You see? You don't understand why you wake up and you feel like you can't remember your dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you don't dream anymore.
Uh-huh.
You know how many people I say, I don't even dream anymore.
I was just
how
talking
could
about
you dream?
Yeah.
How could you dream? When you got this whirlwind,
you got to deal with
this ball of everybody else's shit.
Yeah.
Right? So there's things that we can do to remove that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's things that we can do to remove those energies.
Yeah. And
right?
it's necessary.
And it's necessary. It's necessary.
The purge.
So you can go to my page for the sisters and see the herbs that you can use to detox your womb. Also for the brothers, you know what I'm saying? For that root.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To cleanse ourselves, right? And then there becomes an ease of vulnerability.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to be vulnerable, people. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to open
up. Yeah. Brothers deal with that. A lot of brothers deal with that. They don't know that they're dealing with it, though. That's the thing, because it's not a lot of talk about it when it comes to men. We talk about it with women all the time, you know, and the type of baggage that they may bring with themselves in the relationship. But they don't talk about brothers, and we may need to do one of the divine masculine energy, and I'll have somebody on here to talk about that, because that's necessary, too, to bring balance to this. Because our brothers are dealing with some things,
Our brothers are dealing with and we do it to our own brothers. Let me give you this example. If a man if a 40-year-old man sleeps with a 15-year-old girl, she's molested.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's a pedophile. She's been molested.
Yes.
But what we do to our boys is, if a 40-year-old woman, if Auntie sleeps with little Ray Ray, and he 15, nigga, Ray Ray.
Yeah.
He lost his virginity.
That's
Ray Ray was molested.
Yeah, he was molested. He was given a lifetime worth of spiritual energy that he wasn't supposed to be getting at that age, that he had no idea what he's doing.
We do that to our boys.
Absolutely.
And so we've got a lot of men that are dealing with trauma that they haven't healed from.
Yeah.
Being molested is something that you need to heal from to have a productive relationship.
Yeah, they got to talk about that. We have to build on that.
But we've now had these gender lines where it's a rites of passage if it's a man, but it's molestation if it's a girl. We can't do that to our boys.
Yeah.
We're doing so much damage just because we want a good nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Automatically, off top, when we think in terms of rape, we think of a woman.
Right.
We don't think of
a boy being able to get raped.
Yeah.
And when I talk to a lot of my brothers, I lost my virginity at 12. No, brother, there's no way that you can lose your virginity at 12.
Right.
You were molested at 12,
yeah.
brother. And that's something that you need to heal from.
Yeah.
At 12 years old, we don't even have the capability of consent.
Yeah.
But that's always been the idea of this beast, is to keep us confused. That's just another way of keeping us confused. It's just another way of keeping us not creating, not procreating. Another way. We are being annihilated on so many levels, and homosexuality is one of those levels. But am I going to be the sister that's running around bed checking? Nah, I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather know who you are so we can move on and deal with the people that are ready to do some real things. But to touch on the welfare system, I think
of the shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, where a gunman has came into a black church and shot the place up. I don't know if it's fatalities or not. They're saying fatalities. They're saying people are injured. But I'm watching the footage on CNN, and the people from the church that weren't shot are outside holding hands, praying. Praying didn't stop that motherfucker from coming in there and shooting your asses the fuck up. But y'all are still outside praying. Who the fuck are y'all praying to? And what the fuck are y'all praying about? Praying didn't stop this bastard from coming in and shooting you motherfuckers. I'm very confused by the mentality of just pray on it. You gotta be kidding me. They're killing you and you're holding hands outside praying.